Welcome to the GAMERamble first look video for Dysmantle Underworld. My name is Darkcloud and I'm joined by
Nimbio, Mrs. Cloud.
This game's developed and published by 10 Tons Limited, and it's a DLC for the base game Dysmantle, where players get to answer the call of mana and embark on a new adventure into a world beyond. So we've got play, save slots, options, credits, language, and exit. In the options, we can set some gameplay options such as the clock format, temperature units, and so on. Also some control settings for inverting or toggling things, vibration, audio, we can adjust sound effects, music, and also enable or disable copyrighted music. In graphics, we've got some presets or auto detect and individual settings to tweak. And finally, in accessibilities, we can set things such as colorblind mode, reduce blinking effects, and so on.
Cool.
Okay, so let's get started with Dysmantle Underworld.
Awesome.
Obviously, since this is a DLC, you require the base game Dysmantle to play, but it shows up as a main quest shortly after you leave the main area of the game. And then you get this mission that says the call of mana, investigate the anomalous signal. So looking at the map here, you can see this is where your shelter is, where you start the game, and from there I've basically just left the shelter, walked down the street and came over here to where this anomalous signal is.
Right.
If players are not familiar with the base game, it's basically a post-apocalyptic setting where your character comes out of their shelter and find that this entire island is deserted and filled basically with zombies.
Okay, freaky.
So you really need to dismantle everything in sight for survival. So if you find things, you basically break it apart and loot the contents, which you can use to craft various items.
Looked like you just threw it in the river, but...
That all went into my inventory.
Okay. I see.
Okay, so let's see. That should be on the wrong side of that area that I need to get to the DLC. It's over here. There we go. Signal comes from underground. So I guess we need to descend. This looks steep. I need to invent and craft a rope and hook to climb down. Okay. So crafting is done back at any of the campfires that you find in the game. You can store your items and materials in a box like this. And then at the camp, you have the ability to invent and craft. So rope and hook will be up here. We need scrap fabric and scrap metal, which fortunately I have enough of. So now we can descend to tombs. It's also here we can upgrade your gear, such as your backpack, crowbar, and so on. They all have different levels of upgrades as well that changes things like the damage or capacity and so on. Okay, so now that we have our rope and hook, let's get down to the Underworld. It's even deeper. Shouldn't be far now.
Looks like lava and very red in the Underworld.
Yeah, the base game is basically an island, so you've got various residential areas and military bases and forests and woodlands and so on. So this Underworld DLC adds a whole new underground area to the game.
Oh, that's cool. It's a whole new dimension.
Yeah, it really shakes things up a bit. So it promises a vast new open world map and new quests as well as mysteries to solve, along with some new recipes and skills.
Right.
Signals coming from somewhere in here. Players also get to fight new monsters with new weapons like the crossbow and sawn-off shotgun.
Okay, that's cool.
Starting to feel adventurous. These are famous last words. So those pots had some ceramics to collect. Guess we can set off in any direction down here. Don't know if I'm adequately prepared to take on whatever new hostile things lurk down here. Still wielding my default crowbar. Don't have any fancy weapons yet. Fabric. And some wood. Definitely has a bit more of a dungeon crawling look and feel to it compared to the main game.
Yeah, it does.
Very ominous.
There's not too many enemies lurking around right now.
Well, they're definitely gonna ease players into the swing of things first, I think. My first concern is finding a campfire where I can store all my stuff and...
Yeah, that becomes... Can you build bridges over gaps like that, I wonder?
No, unfortunately not. Or at least not in the main game.
Okay. So you have to find a way around.
Yes.
Oh.
Luckily, the game has an auto map that keeps track of where you've been and where you need to
Okay, that's cool.
still be, so you can orient yourself.
That helps a lot.
My backpack is filling up quite rapidly. Already don't have space for that iron bar there, which is arguably more important than the plant matter.
Yeah, I guess you can chuck the leaves out and pick up the iron. It's going to be a bit heavier though.
Luckily, weight doesn't have any bearing.
Oh, that helps. Okay.
Something to read over here. Strange people almost got us. We saw a giant fireball streaking across the sky. Better to stay hidden for now. Wonder if that giant fireball had something to do with the apocalypse. At least like any RPG, catacomb or tomb, all the torches are well lit. That far, not much happening, but pretty sure there's going to be traps and creatures around here soon. Something else to investigate. It's kind of cautious guide on how to travel to some mysterious place.
Okay.
Learn the tale at the catacombs if you choose to travel to the Underworld, a realm on the edge of existence, hidden from the radiant sun, where the magic of mana rules, where life and death are equals.
Yeah, that's quite ominous.
Okay, so those are the symbols for life and death.
What is that? Looks like the door opened.
Which door?
Making
Do you
some
want to go
progress.
through that door?
So that world really exists. I'd like to stay on the side of the living, though. Next two of us. Don't know how stable this Underworld is. See lots of debris and cave-ins and things. Hide. We have reached the sandy area. See lots of things to loot and investigate, but I'll try and keep that to a minimum in this video. This is the type of game where you can break pretty much 99% of all objects and then repurpose the materials into new stuff. This leads. Another one of these.
Okay.
More guidance. A warning this time.
Heed the words of warning at the catacombs if you choose to travel to the Underworld, a perilous realm corrupted and defiled by the greediness of mortals. The wellspring of mana now unbound, untethered.
Getting closer, just don't know to what. Someone definitely made a big blunder. It isn't a welcoming place, I'm sure. Looks quite old though.
All these vines and skeletons.
I'm worried about these sarcophaguses.
Yeah, when are they gonna come to life and start chasing you?
Yeah, well, the main enemies on the surface world is zombies, so I don't know what lurks down here. Wouldn't surprise me if there's some undead around too. Still some rays of light shining in from somewhere. Into this one. It feels like it's leading me somewhere.
Day 5, okay.
Yeah, that's how long I've been surviving on the island.
And it's morning. But how would you know down here?
Well, down here it doesn't matter as much as up on the surface, where you don't want to be stumbling about at night in the dark. At least not without the proper equipment. There's this.
Yeah. Is that an entrance of some sort? What are these crystals?
Where they are, I can't damage them yet.
Huh.
What's going on here? There's a path around. Look like it.
Oh. Fall damage.
Apparently. Okay, so after that unfortunate little mishap, I had to make my way back down here from the campfire up above, but luckily I can loot my own corpse and retrieve everything that was lost. Usually that is due to death by zombies or something, so the area might not be as safe, but in this case it was just me not paying attention and not seeing this. I think this is actually a way to go to that place.
Go through the Gate of Mist at the catacombs if you choose to travel to the Underworld, a realm of immeasurable power bound with existence itself, a key to everlasting life, a way to alter the strands of fate.
Okay. And the path forward is revealed at last. Unlimited power? Who wouldn't want a piece of that? I feel like I should go through. Underworld entryway. So this is where the DLC adventure truly begins. See, they were generous enough to put a campsite right here. What is this place? Signal is gone. I should look around to see if I can find it again. Maybe it will show up. Let's light that campfire and drop off these goodies before I make any more missteps. Let's see if I have anything I can craft that's new. This could be useful, but saving my crafting materials, maybe I should upgrade my backpack a bit for more storage. You can never have enough of that in a game of this type. Some hide, some scrap fabric and some plastics. There we go. Would help with the exploration a bit. Fast travel between campfires. It's possible to travel between campfires in the Underworld, find a second campfire and use it to fast travel to another location. That's pretty handy. It's going to make exploration a little better. Don't have to backtrack as much, I think. Mana beat. Definitely have to upgrade my crowbar a bit more at some stage as well, and possibly invest in some new weapons. Okay, so we've got audio documentaries, and the reward for this one is
The
a
doc
pinstripe
says
suit.
that this must be the way out. I hope he is right, for all our sakes. They surmise that the passage needs to be opened from both sides. Getting out could take months, or even years. Luckily, our people are very resourceful. The tools they have crafted have been very useful so far. Don Cook, documenting from Radio Royale.
Okay. Seems like there's an interesting mystery to solve down here as well. Just gonna take a look a bit further in to see what type of enemies await. Over here, I think we found them. Look like crystalline versions of the zombie type enemies up above. Some enemies in the Underworld are infused with mana. This makes them tougher until the protective shielding is broken away. And they've given us the crossbow recipe. Okay, let me just switch to a ranged throwing weapon here. See them knocking those mana crystal shards off the creatures. Fortunately, I only have a limited amount of those knives. They're only replenished back at the campfires, which if you use them will respawn all the enemies in the area. So ideally you should be more careful with when and where you use secondary items, as they are in short supply. That was my last one now. It was straight up melee combat. I guess crafting the crossbow is going to make it a little bit easier to keep my distance from these creatures. You can see the enemies are out in full force now. New invention, mono crossbow. Gotten that as a reward now for killing those creatures. I can claim it and build it back at the campfire if my level and resources are sufficient. Extra backpack space already coming in handy. Ambush. It looks like sneak attacks also does a bit more damage. And if you hold in your attack button, you do a more powerful version of your normal attack. It's slower, but if you can sneak up on enemies, very handy for taking them out. Okay, let's see. There's that crossbow, mono crossbow over there. So we need iron, wood, and 4 mono beads to actually build and craft that. I have to go and explore a bit further in and gather those resources. So this is Dysmantle Underworld. The game also got a free content update that features home building with this DLC, so even if you don't own the DLC, you'll be able to take advantage of that feature as well as the increase in build limit. It's out now on Steam and GOG.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy our videos.
Till next time.
Bye.